What's up, guys? So, quick video today. I know I haven't been making that many lately, but I really want to get into something that I've been thinking about lately that's super interesting about how your personality comes out in a relationship and how the composite chart, right? So, okay, let me backtrack, right? But basically, how the composite chart in between, which is like the chart between you and two people, how that will literally reflect your life direction and how you are when you're with that person. Okay, let me explain. So all of us have our natal charts. We all have our natal charts, which represents our personality, our karma, kind of, but it's more making sense in the context of us being alone, right? Of course, they interact with other people, but when we're in a relationship, a close friendship, anything with a a relationship with a family member, a business partner, etc. Blah blah blah, whatever it is. Let's just say, really, really obviously, like in like a partnership, like a relationship, right? Like where maybe you're living with your partner or whatever. You're very, very close. You're with them a lot of the time. What's super interesting is that you have to look at the composite chart, right? The composite chart, the synastry between you two, which is a reading that I offer, by the way, just in case anyone's curious to know about how this relates to them in their love life. Basically, so you have your chart that combines with, let's say, the partners, and it creates the third chart, the composite chart, right? Which is, I always think of it as like the energetic baby. It's the energy that is formed between you guys, right? It says a lot about your relationship. It's a wonderful, like, I've seen so much accuracy with composite charts, especially when you take the composite chart and compare it to both of the two other people's charts, right? Because a composite chart is just the midpoints of each chart, of both charts, right? So let's say I have my sun, just really quick example, at 28 Pisces, and my partner has her sun at, let's, for the sake of being obvious, 14 degrees Pisces. Our composite sun would be in the middle of that, which would be 21 Pisces, right? And it's like that for every single part of the chart. So moving on. So what I've realized in my, I'm in a relationship, and what I've realized that's super interesting, and also the vertex plays in this too, and I'll get into that in a second also, but in the composite chart with me and my girlfriend, there's so much Capricorn energy, right? Like we have like a lot of Capricorn, and I realize, and this has been like a theme, like even like when like we broke up and got back together 9 months later, even like before, like my hairy chest, guys. I'm gonna shave this soon. I made the post about that in my story. But anyways, I've noticed how I am very, very Capricornian when she's in the picture, right? And also my vertex, right? Which, like, the vertex, one way to look at the vertex in astrology is like the secondary. It's like the ascendant of our ascendant in a relationship. That's one way to look at the vertex, right? So like, so those two combine, right? The fact that I have the vertex in Capricorn, so like I become more Capricornian when I'm in a relationship, with the fact that there's an emphasis on Capricorn within our composite chart. I am way more like just about my grind, about my business, about my growth, like about my like I'm a lot more grounded too, I'm just like way more like I'm less concerned with, I don't want to say like having fun, but like lately I've been like just obsessed with I understand that like if I want to make something of myself with this whole astrology thing, I'm going to have to work my ass off. And sometimes it's at the expense of things like a social life. Social life will always be there. I'm going to a music festival or we're going to a music festival at the start of June. But, besides that, like I don't really go out. I don't drink alcohol. Besides, at those like rare times, like when I did the Trump tweet, or not tweet, whatever. but like I've allowed that to go because I know that this thing that I'm working towards is so much more important, and that the real friends will always be there, and my real friends are friends. A lot of people that I have on here. You guys are like my family. A lot of you, right? But going back to what I was saying before, I just find it so interesting that so like when we look at like the composite, right? Like my example, going back to my example, the fact that like when I'm not with her, like she's leaving tomorrow, which it's a little bit different because like we're still together, but like it goes back to kind of like, and I felt this before, to like, it's not that I'm not as motivated, but like even if she's not there's nothing she's doing that's like that you would think would be, she's not telling me, Jesse, work, Jesse, do this, Jesse, do that. Like it's just her mere presence unconsciously in some energetic way makes me more Capricorn. I don't know how to fucking explain it. I wrote my book and we had like tons of troubles. I don't want to like this expose stuff about my my relationship. And we had like, it was a very hectic time. It was COVID. I had my Saturn return with like Moon square Neptune and Uranus square Venus and all these like Chiron square Chiron, all these really and the Saturn return all together. And that's when I wrote my book, which by the way, I know I have a lot of new followers. If you don't know about this baby, it's called Pisces Live 9 Lives. It's not an astrology book. It's a book about my life and about, this lighting is good over here, and about like the most important things that I've ever learned. And it just kind of gives like a map of my experience and my brain, my mind, like what I think is important. But I wrote that entire book, which is so Capricornian to like, for like, it's so hard. It's always been so hard for me to like start something and finish it. Like I wrote an entire fucking book when I was with her, even amidst all this really tough times. So the point is, like, after I broke up with her, and I had some other girls I dated in that 9 month period, but I didn't have the same. Maybe there could be some other reasons too, but I just didn't have that same motivation. Like I really didn't. Like I really didn't have that same motivation. And I know someone could watch this and be like, okay, yeah, well, your girlfriend motivates you, big deal, obviously, duh. But I've had other girlfriends where the composite is way different, and where it's way more about me like wanting to go and have fun and adventure and this and that. And not to say that that's not something that I like to do with in the relationship I'm in now, but it's way more like it just helps me. I don't know. I just feel like, okay, I just want to succeed. I want to build Capricorn is about building the groundwork and doing all the hard work and building the foundations, right? To be able to build this skyscraper that's the metaphor of your life's work. And it's not easy. So I don't know. I'm curious if other people have noticed. I'm going to stay in this corner. This is so cool with this light. I'm curious if anyone else has like noticed this with their own relationships and like their own composite charts and how it relates to theirs. Also, like one other thing is that, yeah, the vertex, like, of course, like I'm curious like about your guys' relationship with the vertex too. Being in Capricorn, that makes, in my case, it makes me kind of play the Capricornian role when I'm in relationships. But overall, I'm saying a lot. Overall, you also have to think, okay, when you're looking at a composite, what are the main points in the composite, right? The angle, the ascendant, midheaven, sun, moon, any personal planets, whatever. What are they hitting? What are they aspecting in your chart and in your partner's chart? So in my case, Saturn, right? Which I have my Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. I'm born in 1990. I know I don't look like it, but I am. Actually, with my beard, I look a little bit older, but whatever. That's because I have Sun Cazimi Mercury, which keeps people looking young. And I take good care of myself. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. But anyways, basically Saturn is conjunct the composite Capricorn energy. That's like the main planet in my chart. So even more of this, like, yeah, you could look at it like differently, but just this Saturn energy. So super interesting overall, like kind of, I guess you could say, conclusion and how it relates to just like existence and astrology and just everything as a whole is that your energy, and I always like save the best parts for last in these videos. It's almost like Hermes did this. My teacher Julian was telling me how he would make people solve riddles in order to like move on and acquire like the next knowledge when he was like teaching. But anyways, so the biggest takeaway is kind of obvious, and Esme has a little something to say. Esme, say meow. Esme. Okay, that didn't work out. But anyways, is that with every single person that you relate to, that you have any kind of relationship with, there is a new chart that's formed. There is a new energetic baby. And I just encourage everyone, especially if you're in a relationship, to either learn about like the composite chart and synastry aspects and try to figure that out, or hit someone up like me who specializes in these kinds of readings and can really break it down and have a follow-up session where we talk about it and compare what the astrology is saying with the lived experience. But basically, yeah, the big takeaway is that your energy is different. A new energetic baby is born with every single person you come into contact with. And some of them bring out the best in you. Some of them bring out the worst in you. And I made this video to give a very solid, lived, real life example from my own life, which I know, obviously, and I could give so many examples from clients' lives and friends and stuff like that, of how the main energy in my composite chart is emphasized within, my own life, and how, it's made me become a lot more Capricorn. With that said, I also, need to add that, and this goes into progressions, which is another completely different topic I can make a video about sometime. Your progressed sun is something that changes signs once every 30 years. So it only happens a few times in your life. And for me, my progressed sun is changing into Taurus. It's been in Aries forever because I'm a 28-degree Pisces sun. So now it's changing to Taurus. So all of these things are happening that are making me way more like an earth sign, even though I have no earth in my chart. So final takeaway is that even if you don't have a single element in your chart, but and you're so even if you have like you're lacking like an element, there's something you completely lack in your chart, but you're in a relationship, check the composite to see if that relationship like makes up for it. Because in the context, like I said, in my relationship, neither of us have any earth, but our composite has so much earth, right? And it creates a grounded relationship that's, based on many things, but Capricorn being the main energy. I think there's like a lot of planets in Capricorn. It's insane. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you think. I got like one more minute to say random stuff. Welcome to all the new people here. I used to do these vlogs a lot more often. I kind of go in spurts where I'm making like lots of videos. These days I've been way more focused on the written content. Drop a comment if you agree. I always like to get the discussions going if you've seen this in your own life. And visit my website, jesseannissonastrology.com. Hit the store if you're interested in seeing this massive sale I still have going, and getting a synastry reading. It's really something I love doing. It's the only reading I do that I research the shit out of. Like I literally spent a long time taking notes